Hello friends, how's you? I hope all are fine and healthy. And guys, let's start today's current affairs, that is 20th of January 2021. Welcome to Affairs Cloud, learn to lead, and you can see here two best images of the day. But today we will discuss 14 to 15 very important and most important current affairs. So watch video till last, but before proceeding you have to like this video and share this video as maximum as possible. You have to subscribe our channel so that we can provide you more videos on the different contents, guys. And you can purchase our Affairs Cloud subscription. You have to download our application that is known as Careers Cloud. You have to download our application because this 2021 subscription is not available from website. You have to remember this. And this application can be downloaded by searching Careers Cloud on Google Play Store. You can directly download from the description box. We put a link in the description box. You have to download this application, and by this only method you can purchase a 2021 subscription. You can purchase 1 year subscription and you can also purchase 2 year subscription. And guys, what we are providing in the current affair subscription, we are providing the daily wise PDF. It means in the daily wise PDF section you will get two PDFs. One is related to theoretical current affairs of particular day. Next, you will get the question and answer PDF. It means question and answer format of the current affairs. Next is the weekly PDF, very important because all the current affairs arranged according to the week and it is very easy to revise weekly current affair. Next is the weekly test. It is very important to evaluate yourself that how much current affair you can retain for a long time period. Next is the monthly PDF, again most important section because we providing so many PDFs under this section according to your convenience. Like first PDF is related to all the theoretical current affairs known as study PDF. Next is question and answer PDF. It means all the theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can revise and retain for long time period. Next is pocket PDF, as it is very important because you can revise the current affair very quickly before your exam. And next PDF is banking, finance and economy PDF, especially for those students who are preparing for banking awareness and preparing for any banking exam. Next is top 100 current affairs. It means best 100 current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer under this PDF. And guys, these all things comes under one subscription and these all things provided to you every month. And guys, the cost of this subscription is very minimal, and on that minimal cost we are providing you 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get definitely 10% extra discount. So let's start today's current affair, that is 20th of January 2021. But you have to like this video, you have to share this video maximum to maximum, and guys, subscribe our channel. So let's start our first section, that is the most important question section. Here is our first question. India's first labor movement museum. So the most important keyword here is labor movement museum, which showcases the history of world labor movement, not only Indian labor movement, it is the world labor movement, is set to be launched in which state? And answer of this question is very simple and it is situated in Kerala. So answer is Alappuzha. You have to remember this. Answer is Kerala. You can also see here India's first labor movement museum to come up in Kerala. You can see here it will portray pictures, documents and other exhibits which shaped the growth of labor movement across the world. Alappuzha, which is cradle of the labor movement in India. It means all the peasant movements, all the tribal movements which happened during this time period and these movements related to labor, it will showcase these type of the movements. So this museum is first of its kind museum in Kerala. It is being launched as a part of Left Democratic Front government second 100-day program, and this museum will be integral part of Alappuzha heritage tourism project. So you have to remember this Alappuzha place, this is in Kerala. And remember about recent related news about Kerala. Kerala became the first state in India to completely digitalize the public education sector. It means Kerala is the first state who completely digitalized only the public education sector, not the private sector. Remember about Kerala, Chief Minister is Pinarayi Vijayan, Governor is Arif Mohammed Khan, and very important national parks is there. One is Silent Valley National Park, Iravikulam National Park. You have to remember Periyar National Park. There is a peak, very famous mountain, that is Annai Mudi, very famous, and it is the highest mountain on the Western Ghats. So we are moving to next question, guys. What is the name of a bike ambulance which was handed over by Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, that is known as INMS, to Central Reserve Police Force? It means this bike ambulance will be used by Central Reserve Police Force, and it is designed and developed by Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences. And name of this bike ambulance is, guys, remember this is most important, and name of this bike is Rakshita. You can see here DRDO hands over motorbike ambulance Rakshita to CRPF because this organization, that Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, belongs to Defense Research and Development Organization. So guys, remember Rakshita is built on a Royal Enfield Classicer 350cc. No one is asking, it is just information for you. You can remember this news by this. And this INMS is a Delhi-based Defense Research and Development Organization laboratory. And remember about DRDO, who is the chairman, G. Satish Reddy, and headquarters is in New Delhi. So remember just the name Rakshita. Now we are moving to next question. What is the name of a Tamil book on Shri Abdul Kalam? It means this book is written on the life of Shri Abdul Kalam, and it is written in Tamil. And it is recently released by our Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. And what is the name of this book? You have 4 options, but the answer is very simple. You can see the name in Tamil. I think all the students are right. So answer is only one here, that is Ninai Vugaluku Mara Namalai. So remember Ninai Vugaluku Marana Milai. So I am wrong in pronunciation, I know, but you have to remember this. But in English it is known as Immortal Memories. You can see here Venkaiah Naidu, our only Vice President of India, released this book on the biography of Abdul Kalam. It is known as Ninai Vugaluku Marana Milai. You can see here, this is biography of late former Prime Minister Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and this book is authored by Dr. APJ M. Najma Meraikar, Managing Trustee, Abdul Kalam International Foundation, and well-known space scientist Y.S. Rajan. It means this book is authored by 2 persons. One is Najma, second is Dr. Y.S. Rajan. And guys, remember 2 or 3 facts about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, which you, I think, don't know, that he was the first scientist and first bachelor to become President of India. So a new kind of thing attached under this question, that is first bachelor to become President of India. And remember, he was also associated with Indian Space Research Organization, that I think all the students know. And he was the 3rd President of India after Dr. S. Radhakrishnan and Dr. Zakir Hussain to receive Bharat Ratna before becoming the President. Again, new question, that 3 presidents till date who received Bharat Ratna before becoming the President. One is Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, second is Dr. Zakir Hussain, third is R. APJ Abdul Kalam. Next, the first Medical Tech Institute of India was named as Kalam Institute of Health Technology, located in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. You have to remember this. It is the first Medical Tech University or the Institute of India. The Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO built the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam National Memorial in the memory of him in Paikurubu, Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. This is again one of new kind of question. So these are new kind of questions, so you have to remember this. Now we are moving to next question. The National Disaster Response Force annually celebrates the NDRF Raising Day on. So again, it is very important because this organization nowadays is very important. So that's why you have to remember this. NDRF, that is National Disaster Response Fund, and it is very important during the time period of the natural disaster or the natural calamities. And guys, this organization is established in 2006 on the 19th of January. That's why 19th of January is celebrated as National Disaster Response Force Day. You can see here 16th National Disaster Response Day, Raising Day on the 19th of January 2021. You can also see here it came into existence on the 19th January 2006, and the successive natural calamities between 1990 to 2004 led to the formation of this organization. So remember this NDRF. And who is the Director General? S.N. Pradhan. Motto is Aapada Seva Sadaiv. It means always in your service. Functions under Ministry of Home Affairs, headquarters in New Delhi. Now we are moving to next question. Who has been reappointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of RBL Bank? This is again most important question. You have to remember, especially those students who are preparing for banking exam. I am talking about RBL Bank Chief. It means MD and CEO. And question is very simple and very, very important. Answer is Vishavir Ahuja. So you have to remember this. You can see the picture of Vishavir Ahuja, and he basically appointed for another 3 to 4 years. It means he is appointed for 2021 to 2024. He is reappointed basically from 30th June 2021 to June 29, 2024. So the time period will expire in 2024. You can also see here RBL Bank is also known as Ratnakar Bank. Headquarters in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Tagline Apno Ka Bank, founded in 1943, and chatbot is RBL Cares. And the bank has recommended his reappointed to the Reserve Bank of India for approval, and you have to remember this reappointment is based on the recommendation of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee of the bank, because you have to remember this, all the reappointments or the appointments are recommended by the Remuneration Committee of the bank. This is again important. Now we are moving to next question. Which among the following Union Minister awarded Sahitya Gaurav Samman 2021 for his writings and literature? Very famous Union Minister who is very famous author also. And only one name I think you can think about his name. Answer is Ramesh Pokhriyal. He authored 75 and more than that books. Guys, this person is very famous author. And you can see here Union Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal honored with Canada's Hindi Writing Guild Award, also known as Gaurav Samman Award. This is honored by the Hindi Writers Guild Canada, and he wrote so many inspirational books like Dreams That Do Not Let You Sleep, based on the life skills management of Dr. Kalam. Next is Kratmak Soch, Swami Vivekanand, Life Trials, among others. So these three books you have to remember. He was also the recipient of Vatayan Lifetime Achievement Award 2020. We covered this question. Sahitya Gaurav Samman from the former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Bharat Gaurav Samman, Good Governance Award by Dubai government. And he also received Himal Gaurav Samman from the Nepal government. So many awards and so many books he authored. So very versatile person in our Union Ministry, and he is currently the Union Minister of Education. So remember guys, Sahitya Gaurav Samman Award 2021 by Hindi Writers Guild of Canada, won by Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. Moving to very important question section, and here is our first question. Which among the following launched a month-long pan-India campaign, Saksham 2021? Saksham stands for Sanrakshan Shamta Mahautsav. It means this is belongs to Shamta, or this is belongs to patience. This is also belongs to how much things you can handle, basically. That is meaning of Shamta. And Sanrakshan Shamta Mahautsav, that is known as Saksham. And this is organized by which organization or which institution? This is organized by Petroleum Conservation Research Association. So remember, this is organized by Petroleum Conservation Research Organization. You can see here Saksham, and PCRA launches month-long mass awareness campaign that is known as Saksham. And you have to remember guys, one most important thing, that this meaning of Saksham, Sanrakshan Shamta Mahautsav. You can see here, it is to create awareness about the adverse effects of fossil fuels on health and environment, to convince the consumers of fossil fuels to switch towards the cleaner fuels. That's why we have so many programs that we have to shift from fossil fuel based network to the cleaner fuels, and we have to use the new and renewable energy resources. The tagline of this campaign is Green and Clean Energy, and in Hindi it is known as Harit and Swachh Urja. And during this event, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the PCRA. This PCRA stands for, yes, I am again telling you, Petroleum Conservation Research Association, and Energy Efficiency Services Limited for promotion of energy efficient PNG stove. And recently, this Energy Efficiency Service Limited also tied up with the Nahai so that they can install the new and renewable energy resources in the Nahai establishments. This is again very important. So guys, remember about Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, who is the Union Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan. And remember about Energy Efficiency Services Limited, headquarters is in New Delhi. No need to remember anything, just remember Energy Efficiency Services Limited, headquarters is in New Delhi. Move to next question. India and which country have signed a memorandum of cooperation on for operation of the specified skilled worker system? We already covered this question before 5 to 6 days, and this specified skilled worker is a tag given by which country? This is given by special residents of Japan, and this will be huge program to get employment in Japan. You can see here India and Japan signed a memorandum of cooperation basic partnership framework for operation of specified skilled worker. You can also see here the signing of MOC was approved by Union Cabinet on 6th of January 2021 and it was signed by Foreign Secretary Harsh Shringla and Japan's Ambassador Satoshi Suzuki. But no need to remember, just remember who is Foreign Secretary Harsh Shringla. And the MOC, that is Memorandum of Cooperation, paves the way for Indian workers with required skills. It means if you have specified skill and pass Japanese language test, then you can get the employment in Japan on contractual basis and you will get the status of specified worker status in the Japan. And a total of 14 fields are covered under this arrangement. It means if you are very much skilled in the 14 field, then you can get the employment, but you have to pass the Japanese language test. And remember about Japan, capital is Tokyo, currency is Japanese yen, Prime Minister is Yoshihide Suga, because recently in September, our Japan former Prime Minister, that is Shinzo Abe, resigned due to health reasons. That's why Yoshihide Suga becomes the new Prime Minister of Japan. Now we are moving to next question. What is the name of the proposition of Yes Bank to strengthen MSMEs with speed and easy access to funds, knowledge partnerships and digital solutions? So guys, it is just a campaign which you can see here. It is known as the proposition, or you can simply say it is a campaign. It is just to support MSMEs to expand their business, sustain momentum and accelerate growth. And this campaign of this bank will definitely help to expand their business of the MSMEs. And this bank is, guys, Yes Bank, and name of this campaign or the proposition is Yes MSMEs, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. You can see here Yes Bank launched Yes MSMEs initiative to enable access to funding. You can also see here Nitin Gadkari, Union Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, virtually launched Yes Bank, Yes MSMEs. It means it is launched by Nitin Gadkari ji. And it is a comprehensive proposition or campaign to strengthen MSMEs with speed and easy access to funds. It means the clearance will be very easy, knowledge partnerships and digital solution. It means this program will provide some digital solution to the MSMEs so that they can access new tools and they can use the new technology in their businesses. It is just to support MSMEs to expand their business, sustain momentum and accelerate growth. And remember about Yes Bank. Yes Bank headquarters is in Mumbai. MD and CEO is Prashant Kumar. Tagline is experience or expertise. And chatbot is Yes Robot. So we are moving to next question. Which among the following ministries bagged Scotch Challenger Award 2021 for e-governance? It means I am talking about category e-governance. And answer is very simple. I am giving you hint that Union Minister of this ministry is Arjun Munda. So answer is Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So remember who won Scotch Challenger Award in the category of e-governance, then answer is Ministry of Tribal Affairs. You can also see here Ministry of Tribal Affairs bags prestigious Scotch Challenger Award for best performance in e-governance and 3 gold awards for its initiatives. That is Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Who is the Union Minister? Union Minister is Arjun Munda. And remember guys, the Scotch Challenger Award for the second consecutive year won by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and it is received by Union Minister Arjun Munda. And remember second award, that is Scotch Challenger Award, Transparency in Governance. First is e-governance. Now we are talking about transparency in governance, and it is won by Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Remember this. And Scotch Challenger Award, you have to remember this. It is started in 2003 and it is a think tank dealing with the socio-economic issues of country. And it is honored to the people, institution, projects that go to the extra mile to achieving the socio-economic issues. And Scotch Group Chairman is Samir Kocher. Samir Kocher. Moving to next question, guys. Who wrote this autobiography named as A Dream I Lived Alone? This is the name of an autobiography of this person. This person is a renowned vocalist and musician of Hindustani classical music, but he recently passed away. Very famous person, very famous personality. He won Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan, Padam Vibhushan. So very renowned personality. And answer of this question is Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan. You have to remember this, guys, and remember the name of the autobiography, that is I Dream I Lived Alone. A Dream I Lived Alone. Legendary classical musician Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan passed away. You can see here legendary Indian classical vocalist. The examiner can ask that this person belongs to which field or which music. So you have to remember this: classical vocalist and classical musician. He was a renowned vocalist and musician of Rampur Shashwan Gharana of Hindustani classical music, and he belongs to Uttar Pradesh. And remember, he made his debut in the industry with his song Chand Pretja in Marathi. After that, he became famous in the Marathi and Gujarati films. He has mentored so many famous singers whom I and you already know, that is Lata Mangeshkar, Geeta Dutt, Asha Bhonsle, Hariharan, A.R. Rahman, Sonu Nigam, so many famous names, and he mentored all these. He, along with Narmata Gupta Khan, authored his biography, a title, A Dream I Lived Alone. So remember, A Dream I Lived Alone is an autobiography. I am again stressing on this autobiography. This can be asked. He is a recipient of Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan and Padam Vibhushan. So now we are moving to next question. Recently, which state launched Ghar Ghar Rozgar Te Karobar mission? This was basically started in 2017, but it was again relaunched after some time, and the state government spending so much fund on this scheme, and this is Ghar Ghar Rozgar Te Karobar mission, and answer of this state is Punjab. And who is the chief minister? Captain Amrinder Singh. You can see the picture of Captain Amrinder Singh, and he is currently the chief minister of Punjab. And this state is also expanding the fair price shops. You can see here, Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh started the allotment of 7219, it means 7,219 fair price shops across the state under the Ghar Ghar Rozgar Te Karobar mission. The allotment of these fair price shops will definitely help to the below poverty line people under the public distribution system, because all these fair shops will provide some type of the benefits to the poor people through the public distribution system. Around 30,000 people are expected to benefit because of this scheme. And Civil Supplies Department has taken steps like point of sale machines using biometric smart ration cards to plug the leakages in the public distribution system, so that maximum to maximum benefit can be given to the people. No leakages should be there. The initiative will also provide job opportunity to the youth of the state, as government has invited application for granting license to 7219 fair price shops in the state. So this is very important because it is just to strengthen the public distribution system in the state. So remember about Punjab, this is Harike Lake, Kanjli Lake, Ropar Lake. All three are the Ramsar sites of the Punjab. And there is a one important Ramsar site, that is Beas Conservation Reserve, declared in 2020, and it is the only river conservation reserve in the Ramsar site from India. Remember this. And governor is VP Singh Badnoor. Move to next question. Telangana and which state partner to support women entrepreneurs? Very new kind of agreement, and Telangana and this state will definitely do very important things for the women entrepreneurs or for the enhancement of the women entrepreneurs. And this state is, guys, Gujarat. Remember, this state is Gujarat. You can see here Telangana's WE Hub and Gujarat's iHub. It means these are the already existing initiatives by the both governments. That is, WE Hub belongs to Telangana for the women entrepreneurs, and iHub basically belongs to Gujarat for the women entrepreneurs. You can see here WE Hub of Telangana and iHub of Gujarat government have virtually signed memorandum of understanding, and it is enable and support startup by women to raise capital in various focus sectors, so that maximum to maximum entrepreneurship in the field of any kind of business can be increased. This is the first time, and the second state government, two state governments have partnered to support women entrepreneurs. It means any two state governments, because you can see in the current affairs that one organization and one state signed MOU so many times for the women entrepreneurship, but this is the first time that two state governments have partnered to support women entrepreneurs. And the partnership will not only benefit the women entrepreneurs of the states, but it also benefit the all the women of the India, because they can do business in Gujarat and Telangana, so that they can provide so much capital to these women, so that the women entrepreneurship can be increased. So this is just to improve the women condition in India. Move to next section, and it is the important question section, and here is our first question in the important section. Who signed MOU with IFFDC, that is Indian Farm Forestry Development Cooperative Limited, to promote livelihood generation of tribal people? Very important question, but it comes under important because we talked about tribal people enhancement and their productivity by this organization that is known as TriFed. So remember, TriFed means Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Federation, and they will increase the tribal people livelihood generation program. You can see here, it is to promote livelihood generation of the tribal people, and one and only organization is TriFed, and second organization is IFFDC. You can remember IFFDC headquarters is in New Delhi, and who is the chairman? Umesh Tripathi, but chairman is not important. So they will collaborate to identify and implement corporate social responsibility initiative and tribal development efforts. It means maximum to maximum money which is coming through the corporate social responsibility can be spent on the tribal development efforts. So as a part of agreement, these two organizations will organize training programs for the tribal artisans so that their income can be enhanced or their handicraft can be promoted. So this is the main focus of these two organizations. So now we are moving to next question. Which department notified modified scheme to enhance 1G ethanol production in India? And guys, it is important question because Indian government is focusing on the clean energy resources and want to achieve 20% blending of ethanol with fossil fuels by 2025. You have to remember, 20% blending of ethanol with fossil fuels by 2025 from 2030. Previous target was to achieve 20% blending by 2030, but now the target changed to 2025, and this is started by Department of Food and Public Distribution because this ethanol can be generated from the feedstocks such as cereals like rice, wheat, barley, corn, or sugarcane and sugar beet. So that's why there is a linkage of Department of Food and Public Distribution. You can see here, government notifies modified scheme to produce 1G ethanol. And guys, remember one important thing, earlier the target was 2030, but now the achievable target by 2030, that is to 20% blending of ethanol with fossil fuels. And this ethanol will come from feedstocks such as cereals, sugarcane or the sugar beet. Sugarcane we already using. And remember, Union Minister is Piyush Goyal, Minister of State is Rao Saheb Patil Danve. Now, next question is from picture, and it is again most important question that Padam awardee. She is also she is awarded with the Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan and Padam Vibhushan, and she was the chairperson of the Cancer Institute. Dr. V. Shanta passed away. So remember the name, it is very important. The examiner can ask that this person belongs to which field. So you have to remember, she was oncologist. She was oncologist and she was chairperson of the Cancer Institute in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And guys, remember, she was also awarded with Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan and Padam Vibhushan. She was also received Raman Magsaysay Award in 2005, which was recently received by NDTV author Ravish Kumar. You can remember, I think. So Padam awardee, chairperson of Cancer Institute, Dr. V. Shanta passed away. Now moving to next section, and it is no one-liner section because we covered all the questions, so there is no one-liner news. Now we are directly moving to 19th of Jan 2021 answer. What was the question? Which of the following is the uppermost layer of atmosphere? Very simple question. It was asked in CGL 2016, and the question is asking about uppermost layer. So first layer in which we are basically breathing, that is the troposphere. Next is after troposphere it is strato, after strato it is mesosphere, after meso it is thermo, and after thermo it is exosphere. So answer is exosphere, and it is the closest layer of the sun. So remember, it is the closest layer of the sun. So coldest layer of atmosphere is mesosphere and hottest layer of atmosphere is exosphere, and ionosphere is a part of thermosphere and stratosphere in which ozone is existing. So remember these all the things. And now we are talking about question of the day. Question of the day is the first commercial civilian aircraft developed by India is, and it is also asked in the CGL 2016. You have 4 options. I am asking about commercial civilian aircraft developed by India is, and you have to only comment this answer in comment box. I am evaluating your answers. And guys, thank you for watching this video, and you have to provide us 700 plus likes because we are very much near to achieve this target, that 700 plus likes. We uploaded the weekly current affairs in English also in January. We also covering October, November, and December weekly current affair, and we will definitely achieve this target of uploading November, October, and December in English also. So guys, please subscribe our channel and press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in no time, because you can achieve this confidence by viewing our videos, by reading our PDFs regularly. You can achieve this with no time. And guys, remember, 90% of the current affairs which are coming in your exam are covered by Affairs Cloud. And guys, don't take life so much serious. I am telling you every day that don't take life so much serious. Life is fun, and always enjoy, and always take care of your health. Guys, thank you again.